Hey guys! So, this is a Terraria Let's Play. I'm going to be playing on 4.3.2, and I'm starting all new worlds with a new character. So, I'm just doing the basics. I came up with a name, I'm choosing classic difficulty, just doing some of the basic customizations, so like the hair, eye color, skin, and clothing. So I'm just double checking, making sure everything's all good before I hit create. So as you guys can see from my other two characters, I actually have played Terraria before. I believe I played about 300 hours, but I'm definitely not an expert by any stretch of the means. I don't think I've actually ever completed the game. I think the farthest I've gotten is... I know I've definitely beaten Plantera and Golem, but I don't know if I've actually defeated any of the other bosses. So that's kind of why I'm doing this Let's Play. Okay, sorry, this is so new to me that it's a bit difficult to speak and click a random button, so I'm excited to see how I'm going to be able to compare with actual gameplay. So right now, I'm just trying to figure out what name I want. So I want Terraria to give me a randomized name for my world, so I'm kind of just clicking through, seeing if any of these strike my fancy. And actually, I kind of like this one. I like asbestos, and it's just kind of funny that it's paired with the adjective tranquil. But yeah, so I don't think I've ever defeated the game, and I'm kind of sad that I haven't recorded anything before this, because I really would like to look back on my gameplay and see where I've improved, or just remember fun moments from the game. So I'm just clicking some different settings for my world. I have a large world, a classic world, and then I like corruption. I cannot stand Crimson. Honestly, the monsters freak me out quite a bit much, and it's a little bit intimidating to play. So I want to play on something that I'm at least familiar with for this Let's Play. So while the world is creating, I guess I'll just talk about more why I'm recording this. So I've never been much of a gamer, nor have I been much of a YouTuber or streamer or anything. I've kind of just been the type of person to casually play with my friends and family, and then kind of just watch a lot of YouTube videos of Minecraft, Terraria, Overwatch, things like that. So I guess the reason I wanted to make this account in this video was kind of just to keep memories up. Right now I'm in college, and last semester was a bit rough for me, and I actually didn't do anything besides schoolwork and then jobs. So I really needed an outlet to just help me relax and de-stress after a long day. So I'm trying to get better at scheduling time to devote to relaxation, such as watching shows, or drawing, or just doing anything that's not schoolwork. So I kind of settled on gameplay. And as I was thinking, I was like, well, I kind of want to do something that I will remember in 5-10 years. So I was thinking, I guess I could record my gameplay and then post it on the internet just to see what will happen. I don't really expect anything big to come of this, since there are far better gamers and just more comedic and charismatic YouTubers out there. So I'm kind of just trying to carve out my own little niche of the YouTube corner, just to have something to make as my own, and just to remember all the good times I have while playing. So I'm actually trying to defeat the whole game in this Let's Play. So that's also why I'm recording this, as a little bit of accountability. So I can't let my viewers down if anyone happens to stumble across this. So we're almost done. I'll stop with the background and I'll get to the Let's Play. So I'm excited. I haven't played Terraria since maybe since June of 2021. So I'm quite excited to see the new update and everything. So for those who don't know, Terraria is kind of a 2D scroller game. People compare it a lot to Minecraft, saying it's better or worse, but honestly, you kind of have to take both the games at face value, as they're both pretty different. I guess the one thing they do have in common is that there is a lot of mining in both, and you do fight mobs in each of them. Like here's a slime, and they have slimes in Minecraft. But I guess where things differ is that Minecraft is kind of an open-ended, just sandbox game where you can do whatever you want. You can focus on building, redstone, mazes, maps, whatever you like. Where Terraria kind of has a more combat-based mechanism, where there's a steady progression of bosses that you should complete in order to move ahead in the game. What's actually interesting is Terraria can be divided into two kind of parts of the game. So the first mode of the game is called pre-hard mode, and it's where I'm at right now. It's where it happens when you just log into the game and you're just playing the game. And you kind of just have normal couple bosses. They're a bit difficult, but they're nothing. Honestly, it's just talking as someone who's played both halves. It's honestly quite frightening how hard mode is, especially in the beginning, because you're the best in this world. You defeated every boss, and then all of a sudden you change the difficulty mode, and it's like you're back at the bottom, and it's quite frightening. So just what I was doing right now is I was just breaking down a couple trees, and now I'm actually going to explore a little bit. So what's also cool about Terraria is in the beginning, you are very bad at the game. Oh, this is a golden portal, so you'll get money. Oh yeah, so that's another thing that Terraria has that Minecraft really doesn't, is like a system of currency, which you can use to buy better things or just heal yourself and a bunch of other things. But yeah, so what I was saying is, you're really quite weak in Terraria. I remember when this sword couldn't go on diagonals, you could only use your short sword on like to the left and to the right of you. And I don't know if you guys have played Terraria, but that's a very not so useful mechanic, because you definitely want to have full range of motion when you're attacking things, especially at night. What's also really cool is all the different biomes in Terraria. So like I really love the winter biome. It has like the kind of like a snowy tundra in Minecraft. Oh gosh, see, this is what I mean. So we don't have that much health compared to vultures. So most of the time I kind of just spend running away in the beginning, just because I don't really want to die, and I don't really want to concern myself with mobs. I don't know. I'm kind of a passive player. I don't really take that much risk, especially when defeating bosses or anything. I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully that's another thing I get better at, is I don't want to just be a basic player. I kind of want to improve and just see what I get at the end of this. So right now we're in a desert, which is pretty cool. I'd actually love to see a temple, like a desert temple. Oh wait, no, that's what they're called in Minecraft. Like a pyramid. That would be really cool, because they have some pretty cool loot. I always love to get the bottles, which greatly increase your mobility. So that's another thing in Terraria, is you want to go fast and you want to be able to have quite a nice range of motion. So there's various ways you can do that, such as increasing your overall speed, increasing your jump height, or even giving you the ability to fly. So what I like to do is collect all of the bottles. I'm going to actually head to the right because I don't feel like dealing with those guys, and I want to explore the other side. Yeah, so you can actually get these bottles, such as sandstone in a bottle, blizzard in a bottle, I think it's a cloud, and you can use these to increase your jump height. So I always just like to let all three of them, just so I have the widest range of motion and just can help me evade more mobs more easily. So I've watched a couple of the Terraria Let's Plays on YouTube, and I think I'm going to try to stick to the general theme of keeping pretty much everything in the video. I don't really think I'll be doing too much editing. One, because I don't really know how. Two, I don't really have the time to do that. Well, I have the time to do it now just because school isn't in session yet for myself, but once school starts, I kind of would just have enough time to play the game and upload the video. So I'm going to probably stick on the not editing side, and kind of just have everything be a whole planned, uncut video, which is kind of cool, because you guys can like see every single thing that I do. It'll kind of be like you guys are playing along with me, and you can just like see my journey and see my growth. So yeah, so I'm almost back at the home base. What's actually cool about Terraria as well is that you always have this little map in the corner, and you can just see where you've been, which is really helpful because in Minecraft I get lost a ton. So it's really nice to have an extra thing in your inventory just to make sure that you're not getting lost all the time. Oh yeah, so you guys saw that I was collecting wood, and then I was collecting cactus. So in addition to fighting different mobs and having more bosses than Minecraft, Terraria also has quite a lot more armor and just items in general than Minecraft. So generally, I kind of skip wood armor just because I like to use wood for building materials and for platforms, and I really didn't want to sit and collect all of it. And I kind of tend to jump straight to cactus armor, which is pretty good for a first like low tier armor. So right now I'm just clearing out a little bit of an area because it's not quite nighttime, it's a little past noon, I guess. But that's another cool thing about Terraria is that you can actually get clocks and stuff to actually give you the exact time it is in game, which is pretty helpful when bosses start becoming meaningful. So I'm just building a little alcove, like not an alcove, a little house just for my guide over here, which his name is Cody. Okay. So that's another thing. So this is going to be kind of a mixture of trying to be informative and trying to just explain everything, because I don't know if anyone has actually like seen Terraria Let's Plays if they're watching this, or maybe I'm just talking to a bunch of like experts, so I don't really need to explain things. But yeah, so what I'm doing right now is just constructing a little house for Cody and myself just to get through the nighttime, because zombies will start spawning, like in Minecraft, but these zombies spawn, I would like to say, a little bit more frequently than in Minecraft, and they also appear in like larger packs of, and I just can't handle them my first night. Eventually we'll get to the point where I'm not afraid to be at night. That'll probably be on the second or third night, just because you get some pretty good loot. The one I think off the top of my head is a zombie arm, and it's a type of sword. It's a melee weapon that is pretty cool. So yeah, so what I'm doing right now is just building a house. Every house has to have certain specifications, including a table, a seating area, and then these walls, which are the things that kind of look like the interior of a log cabin. So I'm just putting some walls in so Cody will come move in and bless us with his presence. So yeah, oh, missing a chair, that's what, yeah, so it needs a chair, and then either a table or a crafting table. And then, boom, that should be a house. Oops. Gosh, okay, so housing, Cody, boom, there he is. So now he's here. Fun fact is the flags with the gold border are the ones that have been placed by a player. Sometimes if you just build a house, you'll get people moving in, whether you invited them or not. They'll kind of just like squat in your house. And if they moved in without you like assigning them with the flags, you'll just have like a red border. So yeah, so here's our little house. I guess I should add a little bit more lighting just because it's a little bit dim in here. That's another thing, is I'm not much of a fighter, but I'm also not much of a builder. I kind of just like Terraria just for the exploration part, and then also for the like crafting. I really like crafting potions and creating farms, which is pretty nice. So right now I'm actually going to get myself a better weapon. So unlike in Minecraft, which has like wooden, iron, gold, diamond, netherite swords. So I had to think of them. I haven't played Minecraft in a while, so it's not that fresh off my head. We have a lot more different types of weapons in Terraria. So for example, the sword that you start with only has 5 melee damage. So it's pretty weak, doesn't really do anything. For example, this sword that I can make out of cactuses is already 8, which is way better than this, especially because my cactus sword can swing in that nice arch above my head, so it could hit like anything within that range, not just with my copper short sword, like where I have to stab and pick a point. So besides that, I'm actually also going to make some armor. So I don't have 2 bunch cactuses, I only have 38, so I'm just going to make a cactus breastplate, just because it provides the most defense. So I'm just going to put that on and say goodbye to my beautiful avatar. What's actually kind of cool is you can get different accessories, including outfits that will change how your little character looks. And I personally like get the one that kind of reverts it back to what you chose at the start time, just because I kind of like having my avatar seen. But unfortunately, I don't have access to that right now, so I'm gonna have to deal with the cactus breastplate and all. Yeah, so besides that, we also got a chest from that little cave that we briefly explored, just dipped into, and I don't really have anything to save except for my money, just because since I chose a classic character mode, that's going to be the only thing that disappears when I die. And honestly, I'm going to die a lot in Terraria. I know people can do like the Let's Plays on like hard mode and stuff, where you only have a one shot. If you die, you're dead. But I am definitely not at that level to warrant attempting that. I'm going to try with my nice classic mode, where I only lose my money just for the time being. So right now I just made a little campfire just because it gives you increased regen if you're in the area around it. And I'm just gonna Actually, I'm gonna try to get Cody to come inside because mobs will attack him just because he's technically one of us as an NPC. Well, okay. Okay, yeah, so that's another cool thing is each of the NPCs in here kind of have a designated role. So he's here to help you with crafting. He's like a guide. Obviously, he's the guide. He's a guide to how to craft things. So you can like place materials here and he'll tell you what you can craft with it. So like if I placed wood here, he's like, oh look, here's all the things you could craft with it. Then he also, oh, he's going inside. It's nighttime. He also, oh gosh, I lost my train of thought. He also tells you the status of your world. So right now it's happiness. So, oh no, I'm thinking of the Dryad. Anyways, he just tells you happiness and he kind of just is telling you, like, you're doing a good job making this place civilized and all. Who I was thinking of was the Dryad, which is another cool NPC that she tells you the status of the world. So as you guys saw before, I chose this world to be corruption, which is a type of, I don't really want to call it the evil biome, but it's like one of the biomes that is a lot less friendly to players. Oh, and they're the zombies. So yeah, so we have about 100 health. They have 45, so we could take them, but zombies swarm, and it's a little bit intimidating sometimes. But yeah, so the corruption is like the evil biome, and once we get the Dryad, she'll tell us what percentage of our world is evil and normal, and ideally you want to get it as close to normal as possible just because the corruption spreads and can basically corrupt and take over your whole world. There are ways to combat it, but that's like a problem for another day. So while it's nighttime, I'm actually going to start by building a little tunnel, because that's another thing you really want to do in Terraria is explore. Just so you're not as weak in the beginning. There's a lot of chests and like structures in the underground that you really want to collect. Another thing is, this is jumping far in advance, but there's actually a hell, like an underworld in Terraria. It's kind of like the Nether in Minecraft, except it's, I don't know, it's not another dimension, it's actually directly underneath you, so if I keep digging far enough, I will reach hell, and I can get some really good loot there, which is always exciting. So as you can see, I'm just digging straight down. You can kind of do that in Terraria just because it's not as frightening as digging straight down in Minecraft, just because you can pretty much have a good view of your surroundings, especially once you start to light things up. It's quite easy to see if you're going to fall into like lava or into a large hole. So yeah, so I'm just doing some mining. Another thing for all Terraria newbies is if you click shift, it will automatically place a torch if you have it in your inventory, which is pretty handy until you can get a way to light up the surroundings, like a involuntary, like it's not manual. What is the word? Automatic. So the thing I like to get is I always like to get the mining hat, but it's quite expensive in the beginning because I believe it's 5 gold from the merchant. So for now, I'll just have to make do with torches. So saying it's 5 gold, I think from the money, from the gold portal, I may have enough. So we'll see. Yep, so I'm just doing a little bit of mining, just going down and seeing what we can find. Okay, so I was taking a break from speaking just because it was kind of like Terraria ASMR, but I guess I should be paying a little bit more attention, especially because you can fall into things like water, and it's quite easy to drown, because you can't really, like if I go in this, you can't really swim, you can only jump up, and you have to be able to make your jump height, or else you'll kind of just stuck in, like, for example, from over here, if I can't jump straight out, and I'll kind of just be stuck in here, unless I have a way to hop up and then hop up again. So yeah, so when I encounter water pools, I kind of just dig straight down, and eventually they'll kind of flow into another cavern, or it'll hit lava and it will evaporate as it turns the lava to obsidian. So kind of similar to Minecraft in that regard. Oh, so over here is a little demon eye. Actually, I'll go to him so I can get rid of the water and show you what my sword can do. Yeah, so demon eyes are basically like the little spawn of Cthulhu. I kind of think of them as like watchers, which is kind of funny because of their eyes. But they kind of just like prowl the skies and attack you since they're mobs. They're actually kind of like the miniature versions of the first boss with it, which is the Eye of Cthulhu, which is kind of fun to fight. I like him. He has 2 phases, and it's pretty cool. Yeah, so I'm just kind of on my way digging. So, as you guys saw earlier, I actually collected a little bit of copper. So I actually don't really know what the different ores do too much because they're all kind of the same. Like, you can all make armor, tools, and like weapons with them. There is a hierarchy of ores. And I honestly can't remember which one. I've just played too much Minecraft to be like, oh, diamonds are like superior, even though they're pretty much not. Yeah, so I believe there are 6 types of ores, each in 3 different tiers. Oh, Pinky. Wait, Pinky's here. Okay, so the reason I stopped is actually because I see Pinky, which is a slime that has a pretty much an unusually large amount of health. So I'm actually going to take precautions here just because I probably cannot attack her without dying. And I really want to kill her because she drops this cool slime that's like rainbow colored. So now I kind of want her. So I have a bow already, but I do need to make arrows, which thankfully don't require as much material as the Minecraft arrows. And then I'm also going to turn some of them into flaming arrows. So that means I need to make more torches, which I can't because I ran out of gel. Well, it's all good. Okay. Oh, and then I also have these shurikens from one of the chests. So I'm just going to... Oh god, I shouldn't have got rid of all my torches. Well, it's okay. Oh god, this is see, this is what I mean. I'm not the best with combat, so this is gonna be quite interesting to see me fight. See, I'm just making a little platform so I have a little bit wider range of motion, and then I'm just gonna wait till she hops down and then shoot her. So yeah. In terms of weapons, later on you can actually pick what kind of clash you want to do. There's melee, ranged, magic, and summoning. So I tend to go for either the ranged or the magic just because I really like those, and then later we actually get guns, so that's kind of cool. I'm not really too keen on summoning just because I don't really like the pets that much. Oh god. See, this is what I mean, I just missed how many shots in a row. So I just got some loot. So I got this pink gel, which is pretty cool because you can use it to make these pink torches, or if I go back up, shoot, I can't jump, okay. Just placing some platforms. If I go back up to my crafting table, I can make some cool stuff, I think, or it might require a furnace or something else. Yeah, so we'll think about that later. But yeah, so I actually just got this recall potion, which is pretty cool because, like Minecraft, where you have like a spawn point. So if you die, you'll go back to the spawn point. But a lot of the times, you kind of just want to keep... What is it? I lost my train of thought again. You kind of just want to survive and keep your spawn point because it's quite a pain to try to go to different locations in Terraria if you if you're not done exploring, just because, here, let me show you the map. So that's me. Here's the area I've explored in this entire video. This is the entire map. So there have been playthroughs where people have filled the entire thing, like explored it, and it's honestly quite insane. But yeah, so I'm actually gonna go up. I really don't want to climb all the way up, but I guess it's something I'm going to do because I don't want to waste the recall potion. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna actually explore. I said actually twice. I'm gonna explore a little bit more, and oh gosh, no, I'm gonna use the recall potion. It's fine. You'll get more. So yeah, so it recalled me to that point, which is my spawn. And then I'm just gonna deposit all my money just because I want to keep it safe. But yeah, so this is Terraria. Honestly, it's one of my favorite games. It's pretty much a comfort game, and I love just playing it and just kind of progressing in each new world. It's quite fun. So let's see. I need torches. Damn. Because I was gonna make a furnace because I have cobblestone, but I need a way to light the. I guess I could just steal from here. Oops, we'll replace that later. So here's my little furnace, and then now I can make these copper ingots, so that's cool. So yeah, another thing in Terraria is that these to craft anything, it takes a lot of material. So like armor takes 30 wood, which isn't a lot, because you can basically just demolish trees, but it feels like a lot, especially when you need to collect different ores. So I'm just going to briefly check out the location to the right of my spawn just to see if there's anything cool, and then I'm probably going to end this video since I don't want it to be too long. I've been watching a couple of like reviews and like vlogs that show you how to make the most consumable content, and they say try to keep your videos under like 30-ish minutes just because people get bored, which I totally understand. I am definitely guilty of watching videos at ×2 speed just because my attention span's rather weak. Yeah, so it seems like we're in a okay, so this guy is an eater of souls, and his presence means that the corruption is near. So yeah, here's the corruption. Shoot, I want that tree, but I don't want to die. So these guys, as you can see, are kind of nasty, both in terms of appearance and in terms of health, I guess, and in terms of damage. They're gross, and I don't like them that much. But I really wanted that wood. So I have to be a little bit careful over here, since odds are I'm going to end up dying pretty soon, just because the terrain is quite unfavorable, and then the longer I'm in here, the more mobs will start spawning, and it gets quite dangerous. Oh, another thing I like to do personally is, since I love to make potions, I like to collect as many herbs as possible. And I'm dead. Oh, I'm not dead. That was fighting. Oh gosh, I lost what I was gonna say. Since I like to make as many potions and stuff, I like to collect herbs. So I generally try to swing my sword around as much as possible just to collect deathweed and other potions and stuff. Oh god, and that was my fault. So the funny thing is that each death kind of gives you a little death notice, and it's kind of fun. It's like this one was, my plea for death was answered by whatever killed me. So with that gruesome sight, I guess I'm gonna end the video. If you guys have made it this far, I just want to say thank you so much. Hopefully you guys will watch the next video and just stick around, and maybe if you guys play Terraria as well, we can play, because I'd always love to meet new Terraria friends. Yeah, thank you guys so much, and I'll see you later. Bye!